And go.
Alright, so before we continue back into combat where we left off, a quick recap of last time. This is session 10 for anybody who's tracking. But last time, our party awoke to feeling extra refreshed and decided to explore the building they'd slept in a little bit more. They entered the storage room and discovered different corpses floating in goo in large tubes. After some poking and prodding and investigating the bodies they found and the tubes, they found a lever which released the largest of the corpses and found a key inside the remains. They utilized this key to light one of the sconces out in the main lobby, making it seem like the door was partially unlocked. They then made their way back into the hallway in the room where they slept, entered in a portal which flung them to the astral plane, where they got to have a little bit of fun with some brain moves, and floated around the astral sea for a bit. Finding another key floating off in the distance, they acquired it and maneuvered past, or not quite beside, but relatively far away from this giant hulking creature that was floating around as well. They got the second sconcelet door unlocked, and a party member fell victim to a simple rope trap and hung upside down temporarily for a little bit, embarrassingly, as one does. Um, After investigating this laboratory a little bit, they were met by an unwelcoming voice who tried to convince them to leave, but in the end, they ended up starting a fight, or getting into a fight, should I say, with um, the owner of this facility. And this is where we find ourselves now, continuing combat. At the top of the combat order, we have Joram, and I believe Joram has to make a con save against your stuff, right?
DC 16 con save for spores.
For the spores. All right, let me pull up his stat block right quick. Uh, this one. 7. House. What's Joram get? Because he failed.
Do I just... I think I can just click it from here. See if it'll roll it for me.
3. All right.
3 necrotic.
So Joram gets smacked up in the face with some spores for 3 necrotic. So just as a reminder, the door that Simon is standing in front of right now is currently closed, with 2 other toad-looking beings outside. This one over here is dead, and this one has been risen from the dead under Anthea's control. So the one that you just hit with spores does not appreciate that, so they're gonna go ahead and take a bite and a tongue lash against you. So here's the bite. 16 to hit.
Yep.
All right, so go ahead and make for me a Constitution saving throw, DC 15, and you take 15 damage. Okay, so you are now considered poisoned for the next minute if you are able to be poisoned as a spore druid. I can't remember, but you are considered poisoned for a minute, and you can.
Don't have any immunities. So
Okay. And you can
so
make.
Sorry, total damage was
15.
15?
Yep. And you can go ahead and make that save at the end of each of your turns. And then it's going to try and smack you with its tongue for a 20 to hit for 9 more bludgeoning damage. So you take a grand total of 21 bludgeoning damage. And that'll just come off your temporary HP first. But remember, I run the Spore Druid rules a little bit differently from how they are written. If you lose your temporary hit points, you don't drop the form. You just don't have the temporary hit points, but you can always drop it and re-up it to regain them back using another wild shape. So, cool. Alright, it is Alistair's turn, and he is currently grappled in midair by by Dragon, who is just hanging on up there. Okay. Um, well. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. I don't know why I didn't do this before. I've had this spell the whole time and forgot that I had it available to me. Um, Dragon, you are wearing metal armor, correct? I assume that's yes. Alright, cool. So he is he's gonna go ahead and reach up because you're grappled around him, kind of like you're hugging him in midair. So he's gonna take both of his hands and kind of wrap them around your hips, and you just feel this like electricity pulsate through your body. And he's gonna cast Shock and Grasp at you at advantage. I still don't think a 16 is gonna hit. Does a 16 hit?
16 does not hit.
Okay, you feel this electricity pulsate from your hips up to your brain and then back down, but in your, well, underneath your armor, it's almost like you have this weird padding that's absorbing it. Oh, I also get to, hold on, I get to add a d4 to this because of the potion he had last time. Does a 17 hit?
No.
Okay, cool. So you feel this like electricity permeate from his hands and run up your body and back down, and it just kind of like bops out the bottom of your feet. And then you see coming around him is this magical shield that they recast up on themselves again as a bonus action. And that is gonna be this guy's turn, because he can't move because he's grappled with you. So, Naomi, you are 20 feet on the ground below this situation you got going up there. What do you
So
want?
I had asked this before in a different scenario, so I'm gonna ask it now. Can I jump? Can I jump and try to take a swing at him since I have a 10-foot reach with my glaive and I'm 6 feet tall?
Sure, you can try and slash his feet.
Sure, I'll
But-
take it.
Okay, I need you before you do that, however, to go ahead and make a DC, where is it? DC 18 Wisdom saving throw. To see
He
if you
is
can
20 feet above me, and am I still in that aura?
It's not the aura, it's to see if you can even hit him. He has sanctuary around him. So to see if you can even break the sanctuary to hit him, you have to pass that wisdom save. But no, you are not in his aura per se. You just, here's the,
Like he attacked before.
yeah, and that's when the sanctuary dropped, so he recast it as a bonus action on that turn to bring it back up.
Got it. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm with you now. I was
Yeah,
like, wait, what?
Yeah, that's why I attacked first. Yeah, you passed. I attacked first, burned the sanctuary, and then cast it as a bonus action at the end to get it back. But it doesn't matter because you're like, yeah, F you.
Be like, no, I'm gonna hit you.
We'll
That's
say
what's
because
gonna happen.
you're jumping up that you can get 2 of your attacks. You just don't have the momentum to come up and down and then grab the bonus action swing for the back end since you have to jump to hit him.
Cool. Awesome. Do I get flanky
No, you absolutely do
As
not get flanking.
he's on him?
No. He's above
Aw.
you, not above him.
That's okay. We need a flying gleba here soon. All right.
That
9
misses.
and a 22.
22 does hit.
Hi, guess what I'm gonna do? Because I'm a paladin.
Do the old smite mix smite-roo.
Yes, and I'm gonna do it at second level.
Okay.
So, I'm gonna check. Hold on. Where's my smite? Okay, so I get 2 at first level, so a total of 3.
Mm-hmm.
So 12 and 15. So 5. So total of 17.
Okay, cool. Sounds good to me.
Let me see if I have any additional bonus action stuff to do because I'm full on health. So, And I think my channel divinities. I guess I used my channel divinity at some point already.
I think you use it when he. I think you, because it's within the aura. I think you use it to try and bring him down. Also, this aura.
Oh, I think I
yeah,
did.
this aura is on you. This yellow one around you. That's your saving aura. That's not on him. That's the people within that range of you get the buff to whatever they get the buff to.
Oh,
So,
okay,
yeah.
the saves. So
Yeah,
it's a plus.
yeah, that's
Okay.
you. That's your little golden aura. So,
That's my buff save. Okay, cool. That is the end of my turn. So, yeah, 17 radiant damage and 5 slashing damage.
okay, cool. That is your turn, Pax.
Cool.
You can. I think we agreed because of where you're flying, you are able to see him, but you can't see. So it's either you saw him and Dragon or Naomi, and so you flew up so that you could get him within your eye line. Your eye line.
Correct. Yeah. So I'm some up. I forget exactly how much.
Yeah, you're
up.
like
That's some number of up.
you're 35 feet in the air. Whatever the
Thanks, man.
little things say on your thing.
I'll fly a little higher just to get a better.
Oh, you're 55 feet in the
view.
air. Sorry, you are really high. So, yeah.
If I go higher, we'll get a better view. Am I understanding the geometry correctly?
Yeah, basically from floor to ceiling, I think it's 80 feet from bottom floor to top ceiling, and you're 55 feet up right now. So,
Okay, I'll fly up to a height of 70 feet. So
Sounds
10 feet below the ceiling.
cool. Sounds good to me. 70.
Out of character question to party, would silence be helpful? Just harry the guy with annoyance?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, after that, let's have him burn his counter spells or something. I didn't want to like inconvenience party members talking to say for goodness.
Nope. I cast glaive. It's fine.
A Cascalave.
Burp. There we go. Just saving throw? No, there isn't. Just have some silence, I think.
Just go ahead and have some silence.
Just deal with it.
On
Quiet
Elbado.
a little bit.
He sees you starting to chant. I'm not gonna deal with silence again. I'm gonna counterspell you and just be done with it.
This is great. Spend a second level spell to burn a third level one.
I don't care. I will burn this counterspell all day. I hate silence.
Come on. Come on.
Anyway,
Pax, we have a plan now.
That is burning his resources.
that's fine.
Now Bardic Inspiration Anthea, because she's by herself in the filming.
There you go. Do you know what's also really funny? If silence would have gotten there, you would not have been able to Bardic Inspire anyone that's over there, including your teammates, because it would have silenced
Yeah, they have to
all
be
of
able
them.
to hear you.
True. Anthea does something.
And Thea's fine, yeah.
Okay. Can be inspired.
As long as she's in with what, 60 feet? Yeah, you're fine.
I need to remember that I have the lucky feet.
There you go.
So I don't need it right now, but I'm saying it out loud because I'm gonna forget it. That's it. I'll say, go Anthea, kick some frog butt? Question mark.
Froggo things.
Alrighty. Anthea, it is in fact your turn.
Well, as much as I would love to send Gleba flying over to help my friends, I think I'm gonna try to get myself another Zombo friend.
Okay.
And
I will
then-
let you know this guy has only been hit so far by your fungi.
Okay. Well, we're gonna beat him up.
Alright,
Let's
do
see.
it.
Okay, so I have. Sorry, I was not paying attention enough. My bad. Let's just hit him with a. Oh, I believe I have Shillelagh activated. So
Yes, I
can
believe you
use
do.
My...
Correct.
Where is it? Sorry, let me find it. Let's try that. Whack.
It is.
24
Oh, yeah.
or
He-
6.
Yes, he does not have a very strong AC. He's just a big,
Okay, cool.
wart-covered gentleman.
Perfect. So that's a whack. And then, I think, let's do that, and then I get to do Haslam's turn next, right?
Yeah, and he has the stat block of a zombie. Yeah, so whatever
Which
the
I have
zombie stats
here.
are. There you go.
And he can just only attack, so he's just gonna do a slam attack,
Okay.
right? That
Yes.
seems to be his only action. Okay, does that work? Nope.
No. He goes to slam down, and it's just like it's like wet meat on wet meat. That's just like defrosting. Like,
Ew.
just
Gross.
Ugh.
yep. It's just like not a pleasant sound. So that was Haslam's
Ew.
turn.
Moist slapping.
Moist just.
Okay.
Did you want to move anywhere on your turn?
Nope, I'm gonna stay here. I want to keep him cornered.
All right, Dragon, go ahead to maintain grappling this high in the air. Athletics versus his acrobatics to see if you can stay on. Acrobatics. I'm gonna say, only because he rolled a nat 20, that he shakes you off, but you don't take any damage falling, but you drag him to the ground with you. So you both are on the ground, but he's no longer grappled, but you take no damage from the fall. Because it's mathematically impossible for him to beat it, and I would do the same for you. If you couldn't mathematically beat a save, but you rolled a 20 on it, I would have the situation happen. So yeah, you guys are now on the ground in the exact setup as you are right now, and you are not currently grappling him. So.
Okay.
And you,
well,
Pax,
I'm gonna
however,
try
see him drop out of your eye line down lower to the ground.
and do a wisdom save. It was, I believe.
Mm-hmm. DC 18. And I
Nope.
Yeah.
Hey, is that still in effect because he used counterspell?
Let me take a double check. Do. Let me find it on here. It is on.
Not to be a rules lawyer, but
No, you're fine. Bum.
Is it
Let's see.
considered a spell that affects an enemy?
Makes an attack, casts a spell that affects an enemy, or deals damage to another creature. I wouldn't say that counterspell affects an enemy in that it does anything to Pax. It just stops magic from happening. So. But you know what? Let's roll a straight D100 luck check, and if it's on the high end, then we'll say he maintains it. If it's on the low end, it doesn't work. How about that?
thank you for your generosity.
It doesn't work.
Well,
It goes the same way. We're
Yes!
gonna say this little circle one with the line through was the shield, was the sanctuary. So the sanctuary is gone, so you can not worry about the.
So does that mean I have my attacks?
You do, yes. You have your regular attacks. Your echo is still, however, 20 feet up in the air.
I will bring them down.
Sounds good to me.
Actually, because I can unleash incarnation and just do it. No, it has to be from the echo's position. So yeah, I'll bring the echo down.
Okay. The echo floats down. Oh man, he's got no more reaction. This could be a bad time, guys. He's out of reaction, but he's not silenced, so it's fine.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
I need a real clarification, real quick.
Uh-huh.
Is a melee spell attack still considered the attack action, or no?
No, it's a different action.
Okay. Got it. So I'm just gonna go all in with my sword.
Okay, do it.
First one.
Yes. And you're doing this
Uh,
one-handed or
It
two?
is one-handed, yes.
Okay.
Second swing,
Misses.
and then unleash incarnation.
You can't flank with your echo, unfortunately. 25 does hit.
And
That would make them way too broken.
yeah, it would. Because there, and I don't want him going back upstairs. I'm gonna position myself like right here.
Okay.
Just circle around him and then end my turn.
All right. So Joram is gonna have to make a con save, I assume, against your fungi. 17. Does he take damage from your spores? With a 17. Anthea.
No, he passed.
Cool. Awesome.
Sorry,
So
Steve.
no, you're good. He is going to, and you're still poisoned. He's gonna try and use one of his attacks to push Haslam away, because he's confused as to why he's being attacked by his spooky-looking brethren. So he's just gonna do an athletics check to shove him out the way versus the athletics or acrobatics of the zombie stat block, whatever one you want. Oh Jesus, so an 8. So it's got to roll in better than an 8 on athletics or acrobatics for Mr. Haslam.
Let me bring up his sheet.
Mm-hmm.
So it has to be what?
Athletics or acrobatics, your choice. Because he's just trying
So-
to shove him out the way to begin with.
Strength or dex?
Whichever one you want.
Let's see. Oh, we'll do strength.
Barely passes it. He just goes to shove him,
Ha-ha!
and it's like, you see him kind of like lean back a little bit. He plants his
Another
foot
wet
behind him.
slap.
Yes, it's basically that. And seeing that not working, he's gonna turn and try and slap you with his big muscly tongue.
Gross.
For a 13.
That
Just misses.
Thank God that misses.
Yeah. All right. So it is Alistair's turn. He is not necessarily a fan of this situation. So you see him kind of grab a stopwatch that's kind of hanging from his pocket, and he kind of like swings it back and forth a little bit, almost like you know what people do when they're trying to hypnotize somebody else. But he takes that, and you see that some syrup starts to slowly drip from it, just drip, drip, drip to the ground, and around all of you, you feel this aura, and it's just going to be at the level that he's at, so this isn't going to affect Pax, but I need both Dragon and Naomi to go ahead and make me a wisdom saving throw DC 18 as you feel your bodies start to kind of just slow down.
You have a +3 to your save.
So a 19. Cool. And
Shit.
alright, so it was the slow spell. So,
Oh, fuck.
yep. So,
Hey, if you have counterspell, that'd be really nice right now. Please.
So, Naomi, you see it more than you feel it, Dragon. You see the syrup that kind of drip down from the clock almost become these like pasta-like tendrils, and they kind of slowly creep along the ground and go onto the bottom of Naomi's boots and start just wrapping around up to the knees, almost binding her to the ground. So you have a -2 to your AC and Dex saving throws. You cannot use reactions, and you can use one action or a bonus action. And yeah, you gotta use a spell. You gotta do that that D20 roll. You can try and make that save at the end of every turn. And seeing that it took effect on one of you, but not the other, he is going to take his chances and try and maneuver away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But you do get AOs from actually both of. You get to choose. You get one AOO because you can't get 2 reactions. So it's either from
Well,
you
I'm
or
gonna
from
choose
him.
it from me.
That's fine. Cool. 21 does hit. Cool. And he went 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Make sure that's his whole movement. It is his whole movement. And then
He's not flying. He's just walking.
no, you dragged him down to the ground. Remember?
Well, I didn't know if he flew back up. Okay.
No, he is not currently flying back up. But you do see that as he's running, you see him stop for a second and do something that you recognize, Dragon. He's going to sit and take one big huff in the air and regain some HP. He's going to regain 8 HP. So, and yeah, he's going to hang out right there. Naomi, it is your turn. You are slowed. Yeah, I also think it slows your. Does it not slow
It
your
doesn't.
movement? That's weird that it
Mm-mm.
doesn't slow your movement, but it slows everything else, which is weird and nice. But yeah, it is your turn.
Yeah, that's a very strange. It's
Yeah.
a very strange choice for that spell, but okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's because it gives you the spell effect rather than like the movement. Which honestly, if you're hitting a spellcaster with that, I'd rather that. So, but yeah.
What?
it's-
What was the green dot on me for?
I don't remember.
Did I have Bardic Inspiration?
Yeah, that's probably what it was.
I really wish I would have known that because I would have used that on that roll. I would have had to cap it though because I'm pretty sure it's just a D8. Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20, And I'm gonna
You
go.
get one attack at most.
I
So,
get to go here.
You can, yeah. But yeah, you get one
Um,
melee if that's what you choose.
Where are you seeing that I only get one melee attack? Because I see one action.
Regardless of the creature's abilities or magic items, it can't make more than one melee or ranged attack during its turn.
Okay.
Right above the spell thing right there.
Yep. Okay, cool. So we will go with a smacker. How about a 20?
That does hit.
how-
Unsurprisingly.
How about level 2 divine smite in your face?
Do it. Burn those spell slots. Burn them, burn them, burn them.
Happy. Nope, that did not work. I need to go. What?
That is
Ah!
that is a bad time. So 11. Yes, 11. Cool. Okay. All right. Is that your turn?
That's the end of my turn. Yes.
Cool. All right, Pax, you are 70 feet up in the air, and you see Naomi moving. It looks like her movements are a little impaired. She's not like walking or running slower. It just looks like she's
Right.
having a harder time maneuvering her equipment.
Oh, I get to make that save.
Oh, you do, yes. You best.
Um,
You are no longer slowed.
Hey.
Yay! Thank God.
Spend this full magic on you.
Oh, thank you.
Which is good because I would have had to roll concentration, and now I don't have to because you did it. So there you go. At least I'm pretty sure it's a con spell. It is. So I don't have to worry about that anymore. Cool. Thanks. You made my job easier.
You're welcome.
All right. There you go. No more slow.
All right. I'm gonna move. Let's see. Let's do some quick Pythagoras. Do. 35 times 35 was the square root of 1225.
Where are you trying to move? Just tell me that.
I wanted to go use my full movement and go diagonal, so down and translocate like this way, basically.
And you're trying to go down in the meantime?
Down and sideways, so diagonal.
What's your total movement? 30 feet?
35.
35 feet? Cool. All right, so you're 35 feet now instead of 75. Instead of 70. So, and we'll say you come with, oh no, with your boy.
Iggy, yeah, Iggy, come with me.
There you go.
we go.
You're basically in Iggy's spot.
So I can kind of be equidistant amongst different peeps. Then I'll be like, I'm going to be very loud in this song because it's fantastic to make you be quiet. It's irony, bitch. And we'll silence again.
Yes.
Another silence. And
Amazing.
what is the point that you are selecting silence to be on?
I'll just do the middle of him for now.
Okay, cool. So it will go effectively underneath his feet. So I'm just gonna grab
So it's
this.
centered on his abdomen, like
Well,
the middle of his body.
It cannot be on him. It has to be on an object.
Oh, that's right. Okay, then yes, the
His
floor
hat.
tile. Sure.
So all right, I'm gonna
Cat.
make this thing
Take his
super
hat
tiny
off.
right there, and yeah, and it's what, a 20-foot one, 20-foot radius.
A bagpipe, I would use that to cast off because it'd be fun.
All right.
Yes, that's so good.
All right.
Thea has Bardic Inspo. So does Naomi. I don't think Dragon does though. But
Okay.
Dragon, you good?
Just so you
Some
can
luck?
just so you can also see your own silence, because I like to imagine you can probably see where you cast your spell, so you probably know your own radius, but everyone should be able to see that weird little pinky shade. So,
Cool.
but yeah, there you go.
But yeah, I'll call it to Dragon. Hey, got a little buff? How you doing, buddy?
Give it your all. Give me what you got.
Hey, you do a good job. Even though these bagpipes are loud, they are still encouraging. I'm not very good at this. Some Bardic Inspo.
Perfect.
What is it? I think it's a D10 still. Yes, D10. And that is it. That is move, action, and action.
Okay, cool. Anthea, it is your turn.
If I roll to try and get rid of poisoned, does that take an action?
Oh no, yeah, that's at the end of every turn, so you could have rolled it at the end
At
of
the
last
end.
turn. Yeah.
Okay.
And
I totally forgot.
yeah,
So,
me
my bad.
too. It was. You can go ahead and roll it now and see if you are not poisoned. It is a DC 15 con save.
Nope.
So yeah, you are still poisoned for this turn. Disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls.
Doesn't affect my spells though, right?
As long as they are not attack roll spells, if they're saves, it won't have any effect. So.
Okay.
But if you roll
I'm
to
gonna
attack,
blight
it'll be
him.
at disadvantage. You're gonna blight him? Jesus. Okay.
Yes!
All right. That's a con save of 16.
My poison's better than your poison. Please don't
Out
pass.
poisoned.
I was making sure that that was not in fact poison damage, or she would have been real sad.
No, it's not.
He still does take,
Necrotic.
however, half that damage.
Okay.
You see his like warts. Some of his warts start to just pop, like a giant pimple. Just warts, just exploding this necrotic damage out. But he's still standing.
Okay. I think that's all I'm gonna do for that.
It is Haslam's
But
turn,
I will do Haslam's turn.
or Gleeva's
which
turn, whoever you want to
means,
command.
I'm gonna do Haslam. Just
Okay.
to slam. Let's
Um,
try this.
That does hit. As you see how. All right.
Sound effects are everything. Thank you, Alex.
Here's what the popping sounded like. Just over
Ew.
and over and over again.
That wasn't as wet though. That was just like.
There you go.
Okay, brilliant.
Do you want to move anywhere?
Nope. Gonna stay here in corner then.
Mr. Dragon, it's your turn.
Yeah, you know what's happening.
As you run in, as you're like running and you're hearing yourself panting and huffing to get down there, all of a sudden the sound that you make from panting just kind of just like it's become muted and you can no longer hear your panting, but you feel it, you just don't hear yourself panting anymore. So you imagine you are in something you have seen before as a big region of quiet.
Cool, and my echo is going to be right next to me.
Yep.
And then I do believe this would be flanking, yes?
Yes, with your paladin friend.
So 2 attacks.
That red dot is for concentration packs for silence because
Oh
it is
God.
a con spell.
Double
Ooh,
nat one.
Yeah, that first one misses really bad. Not so much that you
25.
miss, it's more so that like you're used to as you swing a specific sound that you listen for as your sword goes to cut through the air, and so not hearing it and not being able to connect all of your senses together to hit your target, you just kind of you're off target and you swing it back around with the underside of the sword and reconnect as you watch your target, unable to kind of get out the way in time, take this damage.
Alright, and final Unleash Incarnation.
Yeah, that hits. Cool.
For 8 more.
All right.
Unleash Incarnation, that's not a bonus action, this is just a thing I can choose to do, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Alright, I'm going to Second Wind.
That is a
Hell yeah, you are.
maximum second wind.
Yeah.
20 HP. That is
So much wind.
a
That maxes you. Woo!
bush.
Yeah.
All right. It is Jorum's turn. Oh yeah, go ahead and roll your con save. I'm gonna go ahead and put a little thing on you so we forget. It's gonna be bright purple. That's con save, and you do have the buff from Bardic Inspiration, but with a 4, you know. So Jorum's gonna go ahead, seeing that Haslam is not of his right mind. He is gonna go ahead and try and bite Haslam. With an 11. Pretty sure 11 hit zombies.
Yep, they're ACC.
So go ahead and you get to roll Undead Fortitude. So it's 5 plus 14. So you get to roll a 19 to see if he doesn't die.
So
Con save.
I roll what?
A con save of 19 to not have Haslam die. Haslam falls to the ground this time, unalived.
So sad.
Um,
So sad.
And seeing as you're the only thing over here that's been harassing them with any type of pain, they're gonna try and slap you with its tongue. 20
That hits.
for 11, just wet, meaty sound right in your face. Cool. All right. It is.
Oh, can they, for my reaction, the spores?
Oh yeah, for sure. They need a
Con
con save,
save.
right? Con save.
Yeah,
of
DC 16.
7.
Sweet.
That is a lot of damage.
Oh!
This thing is looking real bad at this point. You feel like you just took him
Cool.
down by about half of his remaining energy. Okay. Stupid silence. But that's okay because this boss, fun fact,
Love
has
silence.
has abilities that don't require any type of verbal components. So,
Learned your lesson, Alex. Good job.
Alex learned.
I learned a whole bunch of lessons from last time when my brain broke. All right, so there's only this ability will affect all creatures that it can, up to 3 creatures that it can see within 15 feet of it. You see that this humanoid in front of you, some of its flesh kind of starts to like just slough off, and it starts to permeate like this green blackish energy, and it just like waves out from it onto both Naomi and Dragon, and I need you both to make for me a DC 17 Constitution saving throw each. Okay. And 22. Cool. So you both, nothing happens. That is just a ability it gets to use 5 times per day for free. So you avoid, you feel like this green energy, like you almost feel like you're starting to get a little tired, but you gotta shake it off. Y'all are strong. It's fine. Alright, well, good thing I got one other thing I can do that doesn't require voices. Man, I will say, Paladin keeping you there is... This worked on him before, so... Oh, it's within... Alright, cool. He's gonna try and run away, because he's not stupid, doesn't want to die.
Are you sure he's not stupid?
He's a very smart man. What's the range of everybody? You guys, you're 30, you're 60. All right. You see this flash come over his eyes. Naomi, you're the one looking him in the face. And I need you to go ahead and make for me a DC 18 con save against momentary status. As he tries to incapacitate you and lock you into time, you feel like the world around you kind of slowing down a little bit, and it kind of starts to freeze this bubble around you. So DC 18 con save against that. Jesus. Okay. You start to feel the world kind of compress around you in like this weird glass case of emotion, and it just shatters. And nothing really changes. But you do feel like things were starting to slow down again for you, but this time it didn't affect you the same way. Okay, let's do it.
Alrighty. So that's gonna be 2 hits with the glaive at advantage for flanking. A natural 20.
Chronal shift, no. So you have to re-roll that 20. This is what it does. It takes a reaction, but you burn a reaction to get rid of the stupid crit. Get out of here. I don't want.
Counter spell possible.
Nope.
That is
You cannot count. Well, you can't counterspell that. It's not a spell. So chronal shift. So you have to re-roll that natural 20. Just give me a straight 20 plus your 7, and that whatever that is.
means he doesn't have counterspell available on my turn.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Spend his reaction.
All right. Throw me another straight attack there, Naomi. Yeah. 13.
So would you take the 22 then because it was considered at advantage?
I'll just let you re-roll it at advantage. How about that?
Okie dokie.
Just to try and not get crit again. It doesn't matter. All right. We'll just take the damage from the first one.
Okay. Yeah. Are you doing crit? Are you doing guild rules?
Yep.
Okay, so that's actually 14.
Yeah.
And then you're also going to take a level 2 divine smite
I know.
at crit rolls as well.
I know. Level 2,
So
so
that's
that's 24 plus whatever
24 plus 11 and 19. So 24 plus 19.
43. Cool. All right. Cool.
43 plus 14. So that's
A lot of damage. 57.
57?
Mhm.
57 points of damage.
On your
That was my
attack.
first attack.
Yep. Go on.
And
It's-
look,
it's-
Dragon's still there.
It's fine. I built this guy to be pretty strong, so it's fine. Yeah, that hits.
Okay, with 11.
Yep.
And then we're gonna spin that bad boy around
Yup.
for a crit.
Get out of here. Burn all your crits now, please.
27.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry, that's 7, and then a level 1 divine smite
Okay.
on top of that.
Yep.
So 16 plus 11. Jesus.
27 plus 7 is 34. Okay. You can do the math on how much damage you just did that round. But it was 57 plus 11, so 68 plus what? 79, 82, 92, 90, 100, and 10.
Just out of curiosity,
108.
Mr. DM, how's he looking?
Honestly, he's still looking pretty good.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
So, yeah, he's fine.
I don't
I mean,
I
he's,
don't know
he's
if this-
very hurt, but he's looking comparatively okay. He's looking okay.
Okay, good to know. All right. That is the end
Say
of
that him looking okay is a lot worse than him looking good.
Correct.
Yeah.
Also, I will
That is-
say the more that you hit him, you saw more and more skin start to slough off. And he's looking
More what?
more
Sorry?
skin start to slough off. Like his flesh is like melting off his body the more that you hit him. And he's becoming more skeletal in a way.
Got it. Okay. And that will be the end of my turn.
Alright, Pax, you
Pretty
are
awesome.
currently concentrating on silence, floating 35 feet in the air, seeing Naomi just pump divine retribution into this dude.
I'll say, yes, Naomi, your light shines us the way. Your might and your courage is a light in the darkness, so I will infuse some light as I send it towards you. Oh, damn it, I can't choose Radiant for Chromatic Orb. Never mind. It's kind of like light, it's lightning, never mind, it's a technicality. Shut up.
17
Actually, I have to.
does not hit.
You would have to tell me before I do luck, right? If
You can do it after you find out the
Okay.
result, but I'll tell you 17 misses.
Okay, well let's do a lucky thingy.
Okay, so you would just
Mhm,
re-roll
great.
you would just roll a 20 and you'd take that. If you obviously if you hit, you're gonna take it, I would assume. But yeah, so you just re-roll a d20 and then we'll add +8 and see what happens.
Hey!
Oh my god. Alright.
Hey!
33
So-
plus 48 damage. Christ on a cracker. My god, man. 48 plus 33. That's 81 lightning damage. You just get max
There's-
on top of it, yeah.
If you can read lips, Naomi's going, yes!
Oh my goodness. That's just
Shock and awe, right? You're the awe and I'm the shock.
Exactly.
Literally the shock.
Yeah, 81 damage as your action as a bard. So yeah, there's that.
This is normal.
Uh-huh.
This is totally normal.
Uh-huh.
Everyone has bardic inspo.
Jesus.
I think just kind of I'll just vibe, float around a little bit.
Just
that fun
vibing.
one? Looking good,
Just
looking good,
vibing. Alright, Anthea. Roll me a crit on this guy, because that's probably what's gonna happen. Do it. Go for it. Oh, man. You just wait. I'm not done yet. I got more up my sleeve. We're still going. It's fine.
Could have been a contender.
It could have been. Anyway, Anthea, it's your turn.
Mooted. Moot.
You are muted.
Sorry, I was talking to myself for like a full minute. Okay,
Aw.
great. I'm going to yell over to everybody. How's everyone doing? Are we okay over there?
They can't hear you.
Which they
No
can't
response.
hear me because they're inside.
Literal.
But I know Pax can hear me, right?
Yeah, Pax can hear you, just not the other ones over there.
I just
Okay.
thumbs up and I kind of mouth that they're being quiet.
Shush, shush, they're fighting
Oh.
people.
Are we whispering? I'm sorry. Are we being quiet? And then I'm going to. Let's see. Well, if I try to, I'm trying to avoid using things that aren't going to work with my poison. So, just for funsies, let's use conjure animals and bring a couple big glebes in here.
You want some glebes, huh? Some big
Two
old
big glebes.
2 big glebes, huh? All right.
I would like to send one glebes to help my friends.
Okay.
And one to help me. Because I get 2 giant toads.
Do you have the tokens for those, or am I using these giant glebes we
Good
got?
question. Let me see.
I know they put out fancy
I
ones recently.
I don't think we had a giant toad one. I just have the fancy gleba like this one that's sitting on Simon.
Here's what we're looking for. Bam.
Yes. that one.
Wham.
Beautiful.
All
Let's
right.
get 2 of those. Thank
And
you.
what do you want there? What's their HP for giant toads and stuff?
Giant toad is 39 HP.
And what's their AC?
11.
Oops, not 121. That's unattainable.
Well, that works too.
Okay. See. Oop. To everyone. Cool. I'm just gonna do this. And you want one over by them?
Yes. If
How-
I can make it pop up. Let me just.
Sure.
see.
I think it can go 60 feet away from you.
I put it in the thing.
60
Now I
feet.
can.
Yep.
Yep. So yeah, I'll pop one up over beside everybody.
You guys just
And
see a
one.
giant gleba just appear right beside all of you, and you have a giant gleba right here. So you have a giant gleba and a regular gleba. 2 giant glebas and a regular gleba just doing their thing.
Brilliant. And then do they roll their own initiatives?
Since you have to I think they do, yeah, right? Let's see. Friendly to you, roll initiative for the summon creatures as a group, which has their own turns. So yeah, you can just roll them. You can just click on one token and we'll just roll them both together. So I don't know what their dex is for a giant.
I don't have control of the token.
Oh, that's right.
Sorry.
That's right. That's controlled by Anthea. Now you should have. You should have at least control of both of them now.
Roll initiative.
2. Great.
Wow.
That's fine. They'll just both go on 2, which is fine.
Okay. Perfect. All right. That's my action, and then I can roll my con save, right?
Yes, and Haslam's dead, so he's out of here. You are no longer poisoned.
Yay!
Dragon, it's your turn. You see this giant frog just appear right beside all of you.
Oh, fun.
Doesn't seem
Well,
like it's doing anything aggressively except just being there.
I'm gonna take my attacks
Okay.
at Mr. Man with advantage.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2,
Yep. They both hit.
and I can't unleash Incarnation anymore because I used them all.
And you've action surged in the last time when you were in the air, so.
Did indeed. So yeah, that is my everything.
Giant gleba, you get to tell them what to do since they are, you know, your animals. Your giant frogs.
So giant glebes. That's. I'll start with the one that's right beside me.
Okay.
I'm just going to have it do. Oh, did I click the wrong thing? Yes, I did. I'm going to have it bite.
Oh, on the one beside you?
Yep, that's 18.
Alright, it is immune to poison.
Okay.
So it does get the 7 piercing, and then it's grappled, I assume?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Joram is grappled by another frog person that is not his
Just
friend.
Puts his mouth over him like, Rom. Just
Alright.
like, gross.
And then you can attack Alistair too if you want.
Yes.
Yes, they both get to attack.
Sweet. I will try a bite on him.
That misses. You go to bite and he just just kind of goes around it, and Alistair just kind of pulls his arm out of the mouth of your giant frog and just like shakes off this frog slime. Okay, so Joram is grappled by a frog, so he's gonna try and fight this frog. He's gonna try and bite it with a 23 to hit for 13 piercing, and can giant frogs be poisoned?
We've got it. Good question. Let me just check. I think they can.
Okay, so roll a con save on the frog. So giant glebes is surprisingly poisoned. And then
Oh,
they're gonna
no.
try and smack it with their tongue. For an 11 for 8 damage. And it's still grappled
Yes,
by
it
your giant frog, but it's there. Alright.
Okay.
Alistair surrounded.
then
Oh yeah.
Can he take his con save for the?
Yes. Oh, for his spores. That's right. This might kill him if he rolls bad. 21.
No.
Cool. Yes.
Okay.
A good roll on that would have murdered him with spores. Man, this guy's had a bad time.
Bad time. Okay.
All right. Cool. You see that he kind of looks to the air like he's gonna try and go up in the air, Alistair, but something's just impeding him. Like whatever he did to get into the air before isn't something that he continuously can do. It was just one of those weird things. Like he's down on the ground now, and so he's on the ground. But you guys see that he does click his heels together, and he starts to blur a little bit. And he is going to try and run from all of you super quickly. So he's going to run to here. And all the attacks on him are at disadvantage as he runs away.
So is it clear? Is it straight for
For
Dragon and I?
yeah, you guys both just get opportunity attacks as straight rolls, and Giant Galebo would have a disadvantaged attack roll if Giant Galebo wanted to try to attack him. So that misses. As you go to swing now, it's like you catch him, but you catch the after shadow, almost like you're slicing at his own echo. That also misses. You guys is
Hold on. Wait. Does an 18 hit him?
just.
He's staying still. Bring him back.
Let me double check this item real fast here. Bump, 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 bump. It's his turn, right? Yes, it is his turn. He's gonna shield to not have to stay where you are. So you burned a reaction. He can't counterspell anymore. Taking my resources away. So he does use his reaction to shield as you go to hit, and you know that it was gonna connect, and then almost out of nowhere, this like arcane magic bubbles up from underneath his ribs and forces the glaive away and back, kind of throws you on your heels for a quick second. But he continues his full sprint run at 60 feet, and you see him now as he's a little bit as he sprints across the way. Pax, you see it's almost like he's a blur as he spins, and his feet are kind of glowing. It's almost like his boots are what are letting him run as fast as he is. As you're looking at him as he arrives where he is, he does not look good. He looks very, very, very bad. You do see, however, I want to make sure he's in the spot where he needs to be. Yep, cool. So as he runs and stops and kind of turns on a dime, you see that he kind of starts to build this fiery form in his hands, and both of his hands kind of come apart, and you see these like two little red beads in each of his hands, and he's gonna go ahead, and because it is in the range I believe I need it to be, he is going to go ahead and at the creatures that were messing up his day, he's gonna throw a fireball right there. But as this fireball hits, it's stronger than you would expect. And see if this rolls properly. It's a 6th level fireball. For 37 fire damage, I need you to roll a DC 18 dexterity save. Everyone in that circle.
That's 11d6, guys. Like,
And that's really bad rolling too.
that is a horrible roll.
Yeah. Okay.
Everybody is at a plus 3. except for me.
Okay. Echo, gone. With the +3 Dragon, you get on top of that, you make the save. Naomi
This
fails.
is Dex, correct?
It is Dex. It's only those guys over there. You don't have to make it Pax. It's
Oh,
just
okay.
it's just those in this big old. Can you guys not see my fireball?
I just didn't look.
There you go. Yes.
Just tumble and I just spin in the air, being like, yes, you
Solitary
can
tumble.
do it. You can dodge.
Make a save. So Gleba also takes 37 damage, which I'm pretty sure wipes out Gleba.
Yes, 39 hit
Oh,
points.
Gleba! Giant Gleba's still living. Giant Gleba's still living. So
I didn't realize he had that many.
everybody that fails takes 37 damage. Those who passed take 19 fire damage. And you see they're panting, and they're panting, and they're very, very exhausted from this sprint that they just took. They don't like where this fight's going, but you see that they see the guy who put them into this weird position of inability to cast magic. And he's going to action surge. And he's going to look at the person who was singing at them. He's going to try and take you out at a mental level. I need you, as you see this like purple lance come from his brain towards yours, Pax, I need you to make for me a DC 18 intelligence saving throw as he casts this mental lance at you, using action surge to be able to cast the second spell on his turn. Man, I cannot roll dice.
Thank you for not rolling dice.
Ooh, I have advantage because it's magical and something.
It is
Let's
a
see
spell.
here.
Oh, yes.
So this is intelligence, right?
Correct. You pass, so you take, because I round up, you take 10 psychic damage, and you are not incapacitated until the start of your next turn.
Hey.
He is
Bye.
looking real bad, real hurt, real upset, and that's his turn. That's his turn. All right, Naomi.
All right.
You are kind of singed.
I am.
Oh, also make me a
plate armor is very hot.
Make me a con save, Pax, to keep your silence up. If you want to keep it up, otherwise you can just drop it. It's completely up to you.
Oh sure, yeah, let's do that.
It would be half of that, so yeah, you pass. Cool. Silence is up. But your plate armor's hot.
Okay, so yes, plate armor is hot. So I'm going to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I said 30. And then he is within 30 feet, which is fun. I'm going to shout at him using a spell, and I'm going I'm going to say you shall not run, you shall fight, and I'm going to cast Compelling Duel.
Yes, yes, yes. I love that spell so much.
Okay, it's a wisdom save. DC
Yep.
15. Wisdom save. And he gets this plus a d4 because of that potion he drank at the beginning of the fight. So 16.
Awesome. So he passes.
Barely. He's there though.
Yeah, just barely. And then she's gonna reach up and put a hand on her chest where it's the sigil of the king, and she touches her holy symbol and it's gonna bonus action harness power, and I'm gonna get back a level 2 spell slot.
All right. Pax, it is your turn. You just got blasted with this brain lance, which didn't feel very good.
How dare you? When we think about the world effects all the way are, you are a desecration to all that is holy and good, and you should know better. Let's just chromatic orb from some more, because that seemed to work well last time. I do have a 4th level slot left. No 5th level slots, and he's not doing metal, so yeah, that's still the best play. So glad I chose this as a magical secret. I can't choose that. Lightning again, it worked last time. I'm gonna re-roll that with lucky.
Okay.
The d20. Yeah, sad.
No, that's with your plus. That's
Oh yeah,
a
that's an 18.
19.
Is that better?
It's better, but because they had to use shield on their turn to run, the shield is still up because I'm not gonna rule it as he used his reaction and then immediately gets it back at the end of his turn. I'm just gonna keep that reaction burnt. So he would have shielded anyway, so it misses his 23 AC. So, because I don't think it's fair to immediately use a reaction on my turn and then get one back on the end of my turn. So, but that does miss, but he does take half damage, right? On Chromatic Orb?
Yes, so 13 lightning damage.
He's looking real hurt. Real hurt.
I will. Oh wait, no, never mind. I cannot action heal because I just cast a spell. Doi. I will just thumbs up. I mean, so you're doing a good job. Good job.
She just
back
kind of
up.
waves with her
Here.
her side towards you, like.
Job.
Alright.
Front
Anthea,
line, be the wall.
it is your turn, Anthea.
I'm not muted this time, right?
Correct, you are.
That is correct.
Great. Awesome. Let's see. I mean, I'm just gonna try to whack this guy, and then
Do it.
maybe use my toads to help you guys. But I'm just gonna keep trying to whack this boy. Oops. What did I touch?
You were just casting Shillelagh again. 20. Yeah, that hits.
Yeah.
Thwack.
Sorry. I said
Alright, you're
swack.
good. You can roll
Okay.
damage on it. Yeah. It's 1d8 plus your wisdom.
I think I did by accident. That's 6 if you want to take it.
You can reroll it if you want. And we'll just take the higher to see what happens.
Okay.
7.
Yes.
All right. He's on death's door. One closer
Yes.
to death's door than he was. So, anything else on your turn?
Can I order Glebe? Well, Glebes can't attack. Never mind. Only Big Glebes can. I'll wait for Big Glebes' turn.
Okay. Dragon.
Yeah. I need to count my. All right. 5, 10. Hold on. 5, 10, 20. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. 5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah, that's about right. I thought I counted right. Am I a dingus?
That's 35.
How did I screw that up?
I don't know.
Well, I can still see him. So that's good. Because bonus action. Hold on. Now I need to count again. All right, that's fine. I can bonus action because I can move the echo upon bringing him in, right?
It doesn't cost any action economy
It
to
says
move him?
bonus action to summon him.
I think you can just summon him within 30 feet of you.
You can use a bonus action to summon him within 15 feet,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then he can just
There you go. Yeah.
have no action required to move him.
There you go. Yeah, you can get him to pretty much, like, if you were to summon him basically in the line where Pax is, you can get to the other person.
Yeah, he's going right here.
Okay.
And I believe I can take my attacks from him, correct?
Your movement, your bonus action, yeah, you can do that.
All right, two swings.
The second one will hit. The first one
Sweet.
misses.
12 damage is pretty good damage.
Mhm.
Oh, I have Bardic Inspiration still, huh?
Yeah.
Can you use that on an Echo attack?
It's your attacks through an echo, so it's your attack, yeah.
Okay. Was it a D10? Is that what the Bardic Inspiration is, Mr. Bard?
I think it's
Correct.
Yep.
D10 is the thing.
There you go.
Yes.
That will still
I assume a
miss.
19 misses.
Yeah, just because it hasn't been his turn yet, so his shield is still kind of.
All right.
You hit it, and the first attack as you hit, you kind of see that it shimmers across the shield, and then your echo follows up and puts Shadow Steel through the exact same spot and just cracks through with the slashing attack the second time
All
over.
right. That is my go.
Giant
Just cut
Glebes.
into him.
Both of the Giant Glebes get to go. That Giant Glebes is currently poisoned, so its attacks are at disadvantage.
Shoot, I forgot about that. Okay, well, we're still gonna do this. I don't have control of him. Oh, yes, I do. I'm going to have him hop, which I think he can move.
He is currently still grappling the guy, so he can drag them with him if they want to.
Ooh, can he?
If you want
I
to.
was gonna just have him drop him.
Sure, yeah. You can drop the grapple with no problem, for free.
Yeah, I would like to just drop him and leave him in front of Anthea.
Okay.
He can move 20 feet, so I would like him to try to jump after Boyo that's trying to run away. Let's see. How
Yeah,
does that work with
he's
weapons?
25 feet away.
You can
We'll
get
say,
right there, right?
we'll say sure you can get there, yeah. Just
Okay.
bong. Just
Boing, right there, and then he does have disadvantage, but he's still gonna try to fight him. Try to grapple him.
okay. That
Nope.
unfortunately
Aw.
does not land. He goes to jump in and
try.
grapple and just nothing.
This guy. There's nothing else over here, is there?
Nope,
just gonna have him
just
move
fiery
closer to
tables.
us. Just fiery tables from hell. Just have him hop over with us.
Okay.
Over, like, here? Is that...
Yeah, that's fine. Just lands right
Okay.
there. Alright.
And that's my glebes.
Alright. Joram is gonna go ahead and make a con save for starting 20. He is gonna try and bite you and tongue lash you. Here's the bite, here's the tongue lash against you, Anthea.
Good.
So does the 16 hit?
Yes, it
Alright,
does.
cool. So take 12 piercing damage, and if you fail the save, you are poisoned. And then you take 24 bludgeoning tongue damage, just right across the face. So you're not poisoned, but you do take 36 total damage from this bite and this tongue. You guys see...
Respectful. Can he roll a con save now, please?
Oh, yes, he can. You guys see Anthea just getting hammered by this big, meaty, bulbous tongue of this frog man. All right.
I was literally just talking to Kenzie about this. It might be, I don't know if it's a bit late though. Could I, because I kind of blanked a little bit, could I Shadow Martyr that second attack?
I'll say.
I know it says before the attack roll is made, but I blanked.
Roll a d100. If it's high, then yes. If it's low, then no. Leave it to the dice. So, unfortunately, no. This new ability you're gonna use, as you go to send your shadow there, it just doesn't quite reach in time and does not leave its current spot. So, the dice have ruled. Okay. This dude is, well, I'm gonna tell you, he's looking right fucked up. You see, at this point, most of his skin has sloughed off. And you kind of see that he's almost this standing skeleton that's just kind of shaking and weaving back and forth. But he is going to use his movement, and he's going to put himself 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 right there. If you guys want to take attack of opportunities, you can. They are at disadvantage because of his speed currently, because of his ability what he used. That will hit. Okay. If you want to attack with Giant Gleba, you can definitely do that at disadvantage.
Sorry, just let me grab his sheet.
You are good. That misses, unfortunately. As you see him stumble over this way, you see that the sword Shadow Steel is slashed into his side, and it's almost like it got caught between two ribs, and it's like a shadowy copy of it is kind of stuck there. He kind of impressed his left arm down, and he's holding it there, but you see in your Echo's hand another copy of the sword. It's like this magician is holding a copy there, and as he stumbles to where he is, he drops down to one knee, and you hear deep in your body, he unleashes this deathly sound, this howl, and you feel it shakes you down to your core, your bones. And as he lets out this howl, I need everybody within, I will pull up this little window. Everybody within this range, this blue range, I need all of you to make for me DC 18 Constitution saving throws, please.
Is this something that also would affect my echo?
Is your echo? Your echo is an enemy. Yes, so it would. Yes.
Okay.
And Cleaves fails.
Glebe has a +3.
This is
So the
con, correct?
19, the 19 is Dragon, the 20 is the echo.
Okay.
Cool, I'm good.
Naomi fails.
As this howl is unleashed and the body collapses, you see, as this creature passes, it says 15 and it shouldn't, it's an 18. I don't know why it didn't save properly to my spell save. Naomi falls to the ground unconscious with 0 HP, and the rest of you are frightened temporarily. You see that this creature itself is no longer moving, but Naomi is also not moving. Naomi, you're stable. You're not dead or dying. You are just
Okay.
at 0 HP and unconscious. You guys see that
Wait,
this.
Is that wait, hold on. Oh, sorry. I was gonna say I'm immune to being frightened, but
No, yeah, that's if you passed. So the other ones, the other creatures within that orb are temporarily frightened as you see Naomi once again fall to the ground, this time not asleep as in the woods, this time unconscious and struggling to breathe. Pax will go to you. Effectively, you guys can shake the fright. It's not a huge fright, so I'm gonna end the combat order. But
Okay.
yeah, you guys see this creature falls to the ground, dead, bones shattering everywhere. Naomi collapsing alongside as this howl kind of permeates out of your ears, and you kind of regain your composure. You see a comrade laying on the ground again.
The bonus action healing word.
Absolutely. And you, eyes open, Naomi, you see your friends kind of standing above you in this pile of bones, laying right beside you, wondering why that howl hurts so much. And also, you see at this point, Anthea, the frogman in front of you just kind of melts, and the banging on the doors from the two that were outside seems to stop, and you see kind of pooling underneath the door, two like red-gray piles of liquid just seeping underneath the crack of the door. So, but
Can I collect some of it
yeah, absolutely.
for science?
For science, you have Nurgalid goo.
What is it?
Nurgalid goo. This.
Does this guy still have a head, or is it a complete skeleton?
He has effectively turned into a skeleton, and it's just a pile of bones and a skull with clothing and all of his items and stuff that he had on him.
What is there anything on him that would, other than the notes, of course, is there anything, and obviously we were sent here because it's where he lives, but is there anything on him that would signify who he is?
You can all roll investigation checks on this now skeleton if you would like.
I would love to.
I would like to assist, giving Dragon advantage if possible.
Absolutely.
Come on, man. All of my investigation rolls,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm out of knowledge from past life too.
Michael and Thea, or Paxi and Thea, do you guys want to investigate anything else in this room, or are you just over here collecting up your goo?
Collecting goo.
Goo. All right. We'll say you
I'll
have.
do an investigation roll.
We'll say you got 4 vials of Nurglid goo.
Yay, yay, goo.
For science. I like how Simon and Smallglee but just hung out the whole fight, just chilling.
Simon
yeah.
was just bracing the door.
He's like, I'm the doorman.
I am doormad. You will not door while I'm
All right.
here.
So,
Oh, door.
with the 23, you find in his clothing, well, he has quite a few different things on him. You see the things that have not fallen apart. You see that he's got his armor that's there. You see that he has this amulet that was hanging around his neck. You also see there is a ring on one of his hands, and his boots also. They're no longer glowing, but they are. They did not fall apart with him either. But you do find, as you kind of make your way through the pockets of this armor, a little journal, and on the outside of it inscribed are 2 initials, A-E. And as you kind of flip through it, and you read the intro page a little bit, it's kind of what you would assume to be like the intro to like an autobiography, but as you peruse it a little more, you learn that it's more like a book of research notes. You find that their name is Alistair Elibro, E-L-I-B-R-O, and so you believe that is who this person is, which makes sense based on what Kathy also told you. Okay, real quick, since I know you have to dip here, the items that you found, and then you guys can kind of divvy these up as you see fit, and we'll take a quick break because I also have to go to the bathroom. And then there's no more combat or anything today after this, Michael, but what we'll do is we'll keep playing for a little bit, and then I'll catch you up to where we were, and we'll go from there, if that's cool with you.
Sweet.
Cool.
If I can, I'll try to watch the end of the stream.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Before I'll just with you.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Sorry, guys. Miscommunication with family about a transport thing, so I will be dipping shortly.
cool. So you guys found, through the investigation on this man, studded leather +2, a amulet of health, boots of speed, and a ring of necrotic resistance.
Before you go, would Pax be willing to give the journal to Dragon so he could bring it back to the village as proof?
Absolutely.
Cool.
But yes,
Sweet.
those are the. I posted them in Roll20. Those are the 4 items
Yeah.
that you found on this man. So you guys can divvy them up as you want. And let's go ahead and take a break real quick because I also have to go to the bathroom real bad. So.
Break time.
Mm-hmm.
Be back.
Good to see you, friendos, and I'll see you soon. Sorry to dip.
Bye, no worry. So be back.
Yes. All right. So we are back from our quick break. We kind of talked about the loot distribution on break. Pax, our bard, will end up with studded leather +2. And then our paladin, Naomi, is going with the amulet of health. Our spore druid, Anthea, will acquire the boots of speed to be super fast with a fancy hat. And then our fighter, Dragon, will acquire a ring of necrotic resistance, which actually makes sense a lot for reasons that him and I know of, at least to me. So anyway, so as you guys spend time kind of looking over the body and looking over the room, you start to feel this weird tension in the air. Everyone go and give me perception checks, please.
Perception.
Perception.
Oh, now look at you. Anthea, your frogs are coming over to spend some time with you, and so you are more preoccupied with big glebes, little glebes, you know, the party
So many
the
groups.
party of glebes coming to hang out with you. And you don't notice it as much as Naomi and Dragon do. But you guys feel a rumbling in the ground and the walls start to shake. It's not bad. It's not going to be battling, but I'm going to leave the battle music on. Actually, no, this one. There you go. Have that instead. But you guys notice that the door that Simon was barricading is starting to crack. Not like crack open, but crack from the top to the bottom, and these cracks are working their way like spider webs through the doors. And as you kind of stand and stare for a second, you see that the door itself is almost like decompressed and pulled outward away. And the door that was here is no longer there. It's ripped out of its doorframe. And the walls starting to collapse a little. And as you look, you see that the ground that you came in on, where you saw the stars and the astral forces beneath, the floor itself has kind of ripped open, and you see that plane is starting to leak out into the room where you are through the door frame now. And as you look through the door where Simon is standing and growling, you see that there's nothing but black, starry astralness through this way, and it's starting to impress itself upon this room. What do you guys want to do?
We need to find another way out. Naomi like pulls herself to her feet using her glaive as support, being just randomly knocked out and then brought back. It's like, whoa.
Dragon's gonna see this and begin going to look upstairs where Mr. Man came from. To this definitely not ominous green circle.
Okay, so the green circle in of itself isn't anything ominous. It's more of like just a light that's coming from that region. You couldn't see through it before, but as you kind of permeate your way up there, it looks more like it was almost like the magical hut that that Pax has made, I think, before. It just kind of looks like that, but more of like in a laboratory setting. And as you step in, you see there are some experiments happening inside. It's like it's a permanent dome that can be walked into and out of, and it's more for like protection of the rest of his lab from the chemicals and stuff that are inside. So if he does make a mess or something does explode, it doesn't destroy the outside, it just kind of wrecks what's in here. It's like a protective barrier that he made. A wall of force shaped like a dome, if you will. So.
Anything in here that may help us leave?
Go ahead and roll a investigation check if you
I
want.
regret asking this question already because you're making me roll investigation.
Can I? Oh, there you go.
Oh!
Aw.
You, as you are investigating and looking through, you see that there are lots of books open, research notes and things like that. And as you quickly peruse through, as you look down here, and you see that even more so now, the outside where the astral plane is pushing through is starting to impress itself even more into this room. Probably, I'll move you back here some. Probably to about where this rope trap is now, and it's starting to kind of flood the room a little bit. You find a book just written in shorthand and common that talks about how he has been traveling between planes, working for the master, trying to spread his experimenting to different pockets of existence, and the only true way to leave this place is through his travels, through the astral plane portals, where reading a little bit more, you find that he describes that there are many that he has gone. He has he indicates the one that you're on. He calls it his home plane, but in brackets puts shadow plane. Then plane 1, material plane. Plane 2, pandemonium. Plane 3, plane of law and order. He doesn't quite have a name for it. And then he goes on and describes 5 or 6 others that he's been bebopping to, and kind of there's a little bit of shorthand notes on each of them, but the notes get fewer and fewer the further down you go in the list of doorways that he seemed to have opened up. But yes, based on that, and looking through what's happening now, it looks like that whatever was keeping his doorways maintained and controlled seems to have been broken, and they are forcing their way into this laboratory region.
So it's safe to assume we have to go back the way we came.
Yes. It doesn't seem like you will be able... Well, you can't see it, but as Anthea stares and looks out, the door that you guys initially came in to get into this building is no longer there. All she can see is black stars and sky, like you saw in the astral plane prior.
Well, as I flip through the book, and I see Naomi coming up, I look at her and I say, "This book speaks of travels between planes. It seems our only way out is the way we came in, through space."
I see. All right, we need. All right, we need to make haste then. The route that we're going to need to take is going to be difficult. There is a chance that something could go wrong, and I need us to brace ourselves for that. If something happens, I want you to grab onto the nearest person who is with you and protect them. Understood?
Understood.
Great. We will make it out of here, and if we get separated, we will rejoin. We will go back to your family, and we will tell them of the great news and let them know that they can return home.
That would be wonderful.
Don't lose hope. We will make it. And she will start her way down the stairs.
And I go down the other stairs because we're cool like that.
Because we're cool like that.
'Cause
We
we
come
cool.
down and we just give a nod of knowledge to each other. Keep
High
going.
five across the room.
You guys are so cool.
As you stand there basking in their coolness, and you see that the leakage of the astral plane is encroaching further and further, and it's creeping onto the floor and then slowly rising up to meet the ceiling, and it's almost like this black night sky of a wall is just pushing its way into you. But if you were to reach out and touch it, it's interesting because it's like when you touch like a puddle and it kind of ripples. As you were to just reach out and kind of just touch it, you see like a rippling, like a puddle just traveling far and wide through what you can see.
Seem to pass through it.
As you stick your hand through, you can kind of see your arm on the other side pass through, and you can pull your arm back out unscathed.
Shall we investigate what's on the other side of this?
That seems to be our only way out of here, as of right now.
Dragon has a very sound theory that the only way for us to return to really any planes of existence is going to be to use the portals in which we were found, which we had found before. So if we venture forward, we should be able to find a way to get back to the citizens and let them know that this has been taken care of.
It says so right here in this handy dandy notebook.
It's a clue we'll use later.
Hashtag Steve.
Hashtag Steve.
Hey, he returned this year for all
He
of
did.
us.
And he's the best. His message was so touching. It made me cry. I am 31 years old and not afraid to admit
I
that.
still haven't watched it yet.
Oh my god, brace yourself for an emotional roller coaster ride.
So what are you guys doing as this wall of Starscape pushes your direction?
I mean,
I'll-
you don't really have a choice. We're going in, right?
Does anyone have any rope?
Question.
I do indeed have rope.
I have
Rope.
50 feet of rope.
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 Perfect. Perfect. And Naomi will walk up to you and say, please tie the rope around my waist. And I don't know how comfortable everybody else feels with it, but we could either tie each of ourselves off to the rope or everybody can hold on, but I'm willing to take point.
Well, if everyone's
We'll
okay with it, I will.
Tie ourselves together.
Yeah, I'll begin tying
One
the
big
rope
string.
around us all.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, as you guys kind of step back a little bit to just kind of tie yourself off and make sure that you are all secure before stepping through. Once you are secure and feel as safe and sturdy as you wish, you can step through. Is there anything further you wish to do prior to stepping in?
I'd like to go rear.
Okay.
I'd like to have a little
Um,
dance party.
I mean, you can certainly have a dance party if you want.
I would like to draw 49 of my 50 lay on hands on myself, please.
Okay.
Well, good idea. Yeah, we should
Her-
probably heal ourselves, huh?
Here.
I mean,
I have one lay on hands to save people, so please don't die. Thank you.
all right. Put yourself wherever you would wish to be. Do you want your frogs to be guarding the party like this? Because I think that's funny.
Yes, that's great.
Gleba, I want Smogleba to be over here. There you go, Smogleeps.
Simon's actually going to lead the way,
Okay.
and Naomi is going to have a hold of the harness.
Okay.
And like lock herself in like if you were to be riding a bull. She's just gonna lock herself in like that on the back of Simon.
All right. As you guys.
I'm kind of in the middle.
Okay, that's fine. I'm just gonna leave you there for copy and pasting purposes. As you guys tie yourself together, position yourself appropriately, cast whatever healing magic you wish to cast on yourself to prepare. You all step through the portal, not to an unfamiliar sight. You see the blacks and blues and purples and pinks and these stars kind of engulf you as it's almost like you're like sucked through. And as you go to turn and look around, you see that the building that you were in seems to have just almost been encapsulated and then crushed and turns into dust, cosmic energy, extraplanar forces. You're not sure, but it's not there anymore. It's gone from any of your vision, any of your periphery. It's no longer in existence as far as you can tell. As you make your way in here and you are kind of floating around, remembering how to maneuver in here before and kind of getting your bearings back, you guys can move without any problem at all. It's almost like you're swimming, but just mentally forcing yourself to do it. You look and you see off in the distance many different, what you believe to be portals of sorts. Some much further away where you can mainly just see glimpses of them, and some a little closer. But one does seem to be a little bit more recognizable. And it's not the same one that you saw the last time you were here, when you saw the city of Kark through a portal and refrained from entering. This one, Naomi, you recognize almost immediately. This is the city where you grew up, where you spent majority of your life when you're not out doing things. This is the capital city of the Swiftwanese Empire, known as Moreau. You, as you kind of look at it and stare, you see the outline of the city. You see the little bit of floating islands that are around it, with a giant tree with its pinkish lilac-colored leaves. You see the lights of the lower city. You see the different quadrants and the different regions of this city. You recognize the religious quarter and the residential quarter and the magic quarter, as well as just the other quarter is not typically used for much. It's more of like an overthrow kind of quarter, where people put things where there's no room. There's a lot of people that live there that are more on the impoverished side of the social spectrum. There are different things that happen there, but it's more of a quarter you didn't spend a lot of your time. It's more crime-ridden than the rest of the city, but you do recognize this to be your home city of Moreau, capital city of the Empire.
Is there any other portals around?
This portal is the closest one. The ones that you can see a little further off, there's one as you stare at it, you see just fire. You stare at a few other ones, and you see different type of environments happening. You see one that's very dark, but there's every now and again you'll see brightly colored lightning flashes just cracking down as you kind of listen. There's not necessarily a lot of sound where you are right now, but you do hear coming from one of the portals fairly far off in the distance, screams and howling winds. But you don't see any other portal that would take you to back to, say, the village where Kathy is, or anything like that, or back to the building you just came from. But there are different portals kind of floating further and further out there that are seemingly traveling further away the more you just kind of take in.
I will flag for dragon for dragon to come to try to come up towards the front. Dragon, do you recognize anything? It's your home area. You'd be more likely to spot it than I. That's my home area, and she will point towards the door that is the closest, but she's making it very apparent that while she sees a way out, that is not her current objective.
Do I see a portal that would lead us back to, any familiar sights?
You don't recognize any additional portals, none that would take you back to any of the places that the party have been since you met them. But roll me a history check with advantage, and you'll get your memories for this one if you so choose. Even if you don't have them available, you'll get it.
Like, what?
Roll a history with advantage plus whatever your memory dice is.
Oh, knowledge from past life?
Yeah, that one.
So it's plus a d6.
Oh!
Well,
roll it anyway. There you go.
Oh my gosh, you were destined at 31 to know whatever the heck Alex is.
As you're looking at the portals that Naomi requests you to search for, and she points to the one that she says is her home, you get struck with a memory, and you know this place. It looks a little different. It looks like it has advanced somewhat. But you know this place. You know this city that she says is her home. You know this place because you to live in this place. This place has some importance to your life that it's there and it's gnawing at you and you just can't grasp onto it. But you know this place has some significance to you. You don't know what it is, but you are very certain that this is a place that you've spent a lot of time.
The city that you typed out that Naomi's from.
The capital city of the Swiftwanies Empire, Moreau. Yes.
And I have this feeling that I've spent a long time here.
Yes.
Or a lot of time here.
Yes.
Interesting. It only took a 30 whatever.
Backstory.
As you stare further and further at it and kind of like feeling it gnawing at you, and you can't grasp the entirety of it, you remember an uprising. You remember fighting for the uprising against whatever power structure was there. You remember bringing someone to power, but you don't remember any more real details after. They're there, but they're kind of fuzzy, and you can't quite. It's like when you wake up from a dream and you know that something's there, but you just can't quite place it yet. You brought someone to power, and you fought in some type of fight in the city, and then seemed to spend a lot of time there.
Interesting. So I'll look at the portal and then look back at Naomi and say, I recognize this place too. I don't remember much, but I've spent some time there. If I don't want to leave them, but they know when I left that I'd be gone for a while. I feel like it is within our best actions to at least get somewhere safe instead of floating in whatever this is, and then one day in the future I can find my way back to them and report our success. I think we need to get somewhere safe, though.
And they roll me a perception check, please.
Perception.
Perception.
We all die.
Yeah.
No.
There's a whale coming in our direction, and the DM's like, go through the portal.
You notice off in the distance something that you saw before. It was a little further away. Ironically, it's not a whale, but it's close. A large creature seemingly swimming through space. Not necessarily towards you, but as you stare, this creature is 50, 80, 100 foot long. You're not quite sure. But it is swimming through space. Looks like it's searching for something. But it's probably 100 feet from you, but it looks absolutely ginormous for the size of it. So it's not like it's small.
100 feet. Okay. Well, I'll just let everyone know that there is a big creature. Is it the same one we saw before?
It looks similar. Yes, it's a little closer than it was before, but yeah.
Okay. It's coming in hot. I don't know if we want to stick around. Find out if it's friendly or not. What are your thoughts?
Well, if we go to Miss Rowe, we can seek aid from the palace. We'll have a place to stay, food, lodging, accommodations, and we can plan a return for Reagan, at least, in order to return to his family. There are many, many talented people there who I know would be able to assist.
I found my way to them once before. I'm sure we can find our way again, but I do believe I agree with Anthea in that we should probably not stay here longer.
If there's no objections, let us make haste, and wherever we, I guess, show up, I can probably get us back to the castle. We'll be okay.
Okay. So you
Do it.
guys maneuver your way to the portal that looks like Moreau. And as you kind of maneuver your way there, you see that the two giant glivas look at you, Anthea, and they both flop out their giant tongues and like lick you upside of both sides of your face simultaneously, and they kind of fade back into the Fae where you procured them from,
Hi, Glebas.
as their time
What's up, Glebas?
has expired on this
It has been an
interplanar
hour.
travel. Yes.
Okay.
They survived though. They did not die. And now you know your Fae friends can interplanarly travel with you to a point.
Yay.
So as you guys step through, that is not where you're going.
You sure?
Yeah, you're not going back to the airship. That's the wrong time for that. You guys end up on the outskirts of this giant city. You see, you're kind of like, you don't just teleport and reappear on the ground. It's kind of like you're floating through the air itself and kind of like being casually like dropped down to the base. And you see from the outside, because this city is absolutely ginormous. This city holds, from living here, I mean, the city holds at least 5 million people. This is the reason it's the capital city of the Swifflenese empire. Do I know him? Yes, it's Jeff from accounting. You guys see, as you kind of float down and you approach Moreau, you see the different quadrants set up. You see the religious district, the residential district, the magic district, and now as you stare at it a little bit more, you haven't been to that fourth quarter. That is typically where like the less to-do folk live, just because your jobs never really took you there. You didn't really have a reason to make your way over to that part of town, Naomi. But you see now that it's kind of, the magic quarter is kind of blending with it, and you see a lot of machinery and like magical machinations kind of in that region of the city. It seems like the magic of artifice and the magical engineers and artificers that you knew of have kind of started maneuvering their way over to that portion of this great metropolitan region and are kind of building that up as what is to be their hub. Like, it's kind of that weird blend between the magic quarter and the mechanical portions, and they're trying to build it. So it looks different just because you haven't been there in a while, but it's interesting. You see the different pieces of land kind of floating above the city with this giant tree that provides shade to the castle itself and the surrounding grounds for probably quarter to a half a mile out. Its leaves are bright pink and lilac, and you know that they also do change with the seasons. And you've seen this tree go from having bright green leaves to dark purples and blacks and blues and oranges and reds. This tree can produce colors of leaves that you would never even fathom. But you do make your way into Moreau, and you end up kind of floating down nice and restfully just outside of the entrance to the religious district. You know that the city is kind of set up in a giant circle, with each quarter and district kind of having its own segmented region, with the castle itself kind of right there in the middle. So, as the bastion of what people see when they come here. You are free to do what you want.
Does the blending of the the fourth district with magic and mechanics, does that look new?
Compared to the last time you saw it, yes. It looks new.
Okay. As we start into the city, Naomi kind of stops And she kind of gets a disgruntled look on her face and unties the wrapping and then turns to everybody and says, well, I do realize I spoke excitedly and passionately about returning. However, I am returning without my quarry. So, I do not know what my punishment will be, and I don't know how much ridicule I'm going to receive from certain people. But I should make haste to the palace regardless to report that I have in fact failed at my mission. But I do think that joining me at the castle is going to be the best place for all of us to go at this point. Like I said, there's talented magicians, there's talented sorcerers, there's food and company and merriment and just a bunch of people who are very experienced who might be able to help everybody with their needs. My primary goal was obviously to get back here with Ballista, and unfortunately I'm back here but without Ballista, so I must go report that. And she looks very disgruntled and kind of like hanging her head as she slowly turns and starts making her way down the street.
Dragon would join Naomi in walking down the street and kind of side by side, kind of stand up straight a little bit, say, well, at least let this old fighter join you in this report. You stopped one evil today. I say that's quite worthy of some praise. You can have all the notes I took if you would like to report that back to whoever you need to report it to.
Well, I do not argue that an eyewitness from another plane of existence wouldn't would warrant a little bit of at least leniency. So yes, if you would accompany me, that would be great. And Lady Anthea, I don't know what assistance I could offer you at this point. We are back on the material plane. We could inquire about possibly getting you a trip to wherever your destinations may lie.
Now I'm good to follow you as well. I can also back up the stories of how you've helped us, and well, you've definitely solved some problems, even if it wasn't the one you set out to solve.
I appreciate your kind words and gestures. I do hope that they do not fall on deaf ears for not maintaining my duty, but I am always at a duty to protect those in need, and while my quarry may have escaped, I would like to think that I did my duty to protect those in need. So she will continue on a path she's probably walked multiple times, heading towards the castle.
While we're walking, I will slip that ring onto one of my fingers.
Okay. Remind me what that ring is again?
Necrotic resistance.
Okay, cool. This city is absolutely huge. So as you guys are traveling through it, you can count it as a short rest for attunement purposes and go from there. So you can attune
Put
to
my boots on.
the items. You stop for a second. As you guys are talking, you see right before you start walking, Anthea's putting on some new shoes that she got and shoving the old ones in her hat. Which seems like a very strange place to put shoes, but it seems like it doesn't have a bottom.
We begin. Me, Pax, and Naomi begin walking the street, and then Anthea's just 5 blocks down.
Miss Anthea, don't run!
I'm not. I'm just walking.
Yeah.
She is
I
now.
have the zoomies, I'm sorry.
She's
took
now,
us an hour to get at the kingdom. How, like, what?
she
How are you
is
here?
now an Olympic power walker. Just. um,
I love the idea of her taking off and Simon's just like running after her and gets about like halfway between the group and just kind of stops and like
Naomi, as you put on that amulet, not quite knowing exactly what it's going to do, you feel as you're walking, you're just getting like stronger, and your heart beats a little firmer, and you feel like you're more full of life. You feel more energized. You feel like you could run a little bit longer, fight a little bit harder, push yourself to a further limit than before. You, Anthea, you feel yourself be super speedy. You're just walking through these streets, and you just feel extra light on your feet. It's like someone just put a spring in your step and quite literally just booking it through the town. Slowing down, have to actively choose to slow down for your
Stop and wait
for
for my comrades.
right. And then you see Pax hooking on this armor, kind of putting the buckles and the straps on, and you see that he's looking a little better protected, a little better armored. He's looking a little more secure in his protection. And then you, Dragon, as you slip this ring on your finger, you feel this strange kind of strength that you didn't know was there, that seems to be attributed to this ring somehow. This ring itself has different engravings on it in like blacks and weird symbols that you don't recognize, but as you put it on and you look at it for some time while walking, you see that the symbols from it kind of expand off of the ring and kind of join onto your skin, almost like very light runic markings kind of encompass, go up to your right arm and across your body, and you only know they're there because you saw them kind of appear on you, but as you stare, you can kind of see that every now and again, when the light catches it at just the right angle, you see a glint of these darker runes on your skin, and you feel a different type of protection on your person. As you guys are walking through the religious district where you kind of landed outside of, you know from many times of walking this path, Naomi, that this is the location of your of one of the barracks, the primary barracks for your order that you work in, that your family works in, that serves the king itself, is in this district. And you stopped to check in many times when walking to and fro the castle and patrolling. This is where the primary military barracks, as well as cleric and paladin orders, are maintained kind of in this region itself. And you, as you're walking around, you see different people in armor and weapons, similar to those that you had under your command when you took the job from the king directly, took the order to go and find Ballista. And you see every now and again, you don't know every soldier that works in a city of 5 million, but you've risen through the ranks enough that quite often, people kind of stop, kind of come to attention and nod to you, and commander, as they kind of nod, and you recognize them by their rankings that they wear proudly on their chest, and they all give you the respect that you have earned through your training and your time with the order, working for the kingdom. Anything in particular you wish to do as you kind of make your way towards the castle?
I will stop one of the people that acknowledged me and say, is the commander in town?
Are you speaking of the High Commander or the other commander? As there are two, as you well know. Are you looking for your sister or your brother?
Both.
Both. I believe one is at the barracks. I don't know which though. I've seen them, or I've heard that they've both been in town recently. And I know that there was something going on where one of the commanders had to leave, but I had other duties that I had to maintain, so I don't know which is there, but one for sure is in the barracks. I don't know who, unfortunately. My apologies, ma'am.
I appreciate the information. Good work. Carry on.
Absolutely, thank you. And they salute you, and they continue on their patrol.
At this information, Naomi kind of stops and she slowly turns to the group and she gets kind of a little sheepish. She goes, "Do you mind if we take a detour?"
Not at all.
I'd like to see more of the city.
Go ahead and roll me a nature. Oh, sorry, nice. So, as you are kind of examining the plants in the city, you see that this city has different levels of greenery. There are people who have like window basins of flowers and just your day-to-day house plants that they let grow on like off the terraces of their houses and their apartments. And you see that the streets, some of the streets are lined with trees. There are some shrubberies around. There are also cities that are very much just brick and mortar and very much metropolitan. But you see there are some unique plants to the city that you haven't seen before, maybe a long time ago, but they're very different from the natural habitat plants that you're used to. You see on a few different walls there are lots of different color mosses, and it looks like as you're kind of investigating and kind of keeping an eye on it, there is a shorter couple who are kind of using some magic to kind of shape the mosses into a piece of art. And you see that they are just drawing or shaping this moss into like a landscape. Not necessarily of anything in particular, but just like a landscape of sorts. And they're doing it with moss. So but you do recognize the spell as Druidcraft, though.
I can't promise the area that we will visit, Miss Anthea, will be anything fascinating, but I would appreciate just the ability to stop in to say hi to not only a high-ranking member of the knighthood, but also a family member.
Lead on.
Thank you.
So you said I had memories of being here before, fighting something, putting someone to power.
Mm-hmm.
As we walked the streets, does anyone recognize me? Or like, give a look?
Nobody seems to turn any major looks your way. Like every now and again you get people who kind of look at you inquisitively, but they also see who you're walking with and don't stare for too long. It seems like Naomi garners quite a bit of power and respect from the people of this city, at least from what you've seen so far, in that nobody really stares too long in her direction, short of other members of the military who, whenever they see, will stop, acknowledge her rank, salute, nod, and just kind of wait in place until she's gone past them.
Okay, so no like, oh hey, it's that guy.
No.
Okay.
Nope.
You're like, oh, you have a fan. Weird.
Alright. Just making sure.
As you eventually make your way through the streets, making your way to the barracks. What is the name of your order?
I didn't name it. I thought you would. It'd probably just be Order of the Crown.
Okay.
Order of the Order. Shut up, you.
Order of the Order. I provide order to the order. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As you make your way to these barracks, they are absolutely ginormous. It looks like it could be a factory of sorts. As you kind of look, you can't. As you're looking at either side of these barracks, Anthea, Dragon, and then Pax, you kind of like, you can't see the ends of either of them. They look like this whole barracks goes multiple city blocks. And if it's going this far, you don't even know how far back it's going to go, depth-wise. It doesn't look like it's more than maybe 25, 30 feet high, but sitting atop of the order is a crown, like a giant crown, which looks like it's made of bronze or some type of metal or stone, and it's just kind of rotating, like it's being magically held aloft, and just kind of rotates. Kind of like how this thing right here is at an angle. Imagine that as a crown floating over this building that kind of just rotates in a circular pattern.
Cool.
And it's just kind of floating there. And every now and again, you'll see like little fireworks, little sparks come off of it, just kind of to draw attention to it and to make sure that people know that this is the bastion of law and order, at least for this part of the metropolis. And Naomi, you know this to be the home base of the Order of the Crown, which employs the majority of the military. There are other smaller sects and smaller groups that work under the purview of the king as well, and hold up law in a different kind of way. You know that as far as magicians in the city are concerned, there is a special sect of law enforcement that monitors and controls them, because to maintain and control order within those who can control the arcane forces, you need those who can also control the arcane forces. And that's not necessarily what your order does. You focus more on the divine, like the paladins and the clerics, and then the physicality, like the police brute force almost, like the fighters and those who aren't really magically inclined in any way, but who do want to serve in their way to maintain their view of law and order in the town and follow the orders that they are given to maintain peace, or at least what they know to be peace. So you do know there are multiple sects that do different things. Yours in particular does not necessarily monitor the magic quarter, but you're not unwelcome there. You just don't necessarily have the same jurisdiction. So, as you make your way in the front door of the Order of the Crown, you see that it is very, very busy in here. There are, as you look through all of you, you see that there are many different desks. If you ever think of the cartoons for like Justice League or Superman, or think that, you see how like the Daily Planet has all these desks with doing different things. There are different sections of this floor set up where there are people who seem to be doing like administrative paperwork that don't seem to be armored in any way. There is like an armory hall. There are people who seem to be like giving directions to others. You know by the ranks that they wear that they are like section leaders and like sergeants effectively, who are giving out orders and instructions for the rest of the day, or for whoever's coming on to their shift to go and take on whatever their roles are going to be for the day, accomplish their tasks and whatnot. And as you look around to the very far end of this, you see there is a golden spiral staircase that leads up, only about 15 feet up, because from the outside this building looks like it's only 20-30 feet tall, but from the inside you can look to where the spiral staircase up, and you see the staircase itself goes up 70-80 feet to a whole another floor. So somebody has somehow combined some arcane magic to compress the outside to be one size, but make the inside much larger, in some sort of shape, size changing kind of way. But you know this building has been here for, well, longer than you've been part of the order. So you don't really necessarily know how this happened this way, but you've heard stories. So, but as you know that following that golden spiral staircase up is where the higher ranking members of the order tend to spend most of their day, whether they're doing paperwork or whether they're just hanging out or whether they're doing meetings or whatever it is that their job requests of them for that day. You know that up there is where you go, your siblings go, your father themselves went, and others who have been in that role or who are of equivalent positions in the rankings as yourself. So.
Okay, I will start my way up the stairs. There's a bit of like a a skip to my step as I do.
You guys see Naomi kind of have this little skip in her step, like she's a little bit fleet of foot today. A little bit very different from how you've seen her before. Very different from the first time you saw her, Dragon, where she was very much on guard after just coming across a lake that she did not seem to be a fan of. But what are you two? I'm just going to say Pax is going to go with you guys and do whatever you guys do. But what are the two of you doing as you see Naomi start to kind of walk towards this stairway?
I'm still following her lead, so I'm right behind.
I would also be following. There's not really much here that I would want to explore too much.
Okay.
I don't want to get left behind. She's fleet of foot today, but not as
Wait,
fleet
you're
as
fast.
Okay. So you make your way to this golden shining staircase, and you start to make your way up, step by step, one after the other. You eventually make your way up, probably a solid 85 steps up the staircase. It's a nice workout to get up there. Those of you wearing heavy armor, this is, for you, Naomi, you're used to this, but Dragon, this is a little more steps than you're used to having to
Halfway
climb.
halfway up the stairs. Oh, teleport,
Echo,
Teleport.
echo.
teleport.
Every time you see Dragon teleport, he kind of, like, you'll teleport, say, 30 feet in the air, then fall back down until you can teleport again, just because gravity keeps dragging. So it's kind of like you're, like, yo-yoing your way up. But you eventually get up there. You don't fall or hurt yourself. It's just kind of funny. You see this man go up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. You guys eventually make your way up, and on this next floor of this barracks, you see that there are many different very expensive looking items on display, from artworks of paintings and statues and busts to weaponry displayed on all of the walls. There are corners with shields and weapon racks of spears, but as you kind of look around, you notice that while there are swords and shields and spears and maces, and occasionally you see a piece of machinery that you don't really know what it does, but you do see black powder under it, so you can assume it's kind of utilized in some way together. You see, interestingly enough, there's only one place for a glaive, and the glaive is not there. The glaive is missing. But as you guys kind of follow Naomi and you look at this spot where the glaive should be, there is kind of an outline on the wall of where it was against it, because it sat for so long not being used. And you kind of look at Naomi, you all notice that the glaive that she has is likely what was on the wall there. But there is only one glaive in the entirety of this upstairs. You've only seen one glaive in this whole building. So. And you know why that is, Naomi.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see as you two, well, as all of you really look and you see this glaive and you notice that she has it on her back, you see a little smirk kind of come across Naomi's face, but nothing too attention grabbing. It's just kind of something that you notice. But eventually, you guys make your way to one of the far ends of this floor, and you see there is a small crowd of 3 or 4 people talking to and listening in response to another person. As you guys stand there and listen, you hear a voice that sounds fairly similar to Naomi in their cadence and their enunciations and whatnot. It sounds a little older, sounds female as well, and they seem to be giving out directives or some type of information. It's almost like they were doing a meeting for a very small group of people. Anything you do while this is happening, or you just kind of wait?
I respectably wait a distance away, but I'm bouncing on my heels.
Yeah, I'm just kind of, standing there at attention, just waiting.
Okay. You guys, this catches your notice more so than theirs, Anthea. As the person leading this small meeting calls it to a close, you see all of them kind of stand and salute, but you see two of the people walk over to somebody's desk, and you see on this desk there is a small little tree in a pot. Maybe it's equivalent in size to like a bonsai tree. You've not seen this particular plant before, but what grabs your attention the most about this is those two that are there. You see one of them kind of pulls out of their pocket. They pull this, you don't know what it is, but they kind of crumble it up in their hands, and they kind of sprinkle it over the tree that's in this pot, and then they sprinkle it over themselves, and they kind of they grasp each other by the hand, and the person who crumbled this dust over themselves and this bonsai tree in a pot, touches it, and whoosh, they disappear into the tree, and they're gone. And the tree just looks like a small little desk plant. And you can roll me we'll say nature or survival with advantage if you want. And see if you know.
Look at it.
You get advantage.
Oh, I do?
Advantage. Learn all the secrets.
18.
You know that there is a particular type of spell that allows you to transport from any location on the plane to any other location on the plane that you know of, that you have seen via plants. You know the power of plants allows you to instantly travel anywhere where you have been that has a plant that you can remember. And you imagine that's kind of what this is. You have no idea where they're going, but you know that is a capability of some very powerful druids. So. And as they disappear, and the other four kind of turn on their heels and walk back in your general direction, you recognize a couple of these people, Naomi, as older members of the order who haven't actively worked in the order for a while, but they still come about once every 2 to 3 months just to kind of keep involved. Effectively, they're like donors, but they like to be involved and kind of they try to have their say. You've seen them before. You know what they're here for. You know that they also command respect whether or not you wish to give it to them. You understand that they put in their time. They devoted their life to the order. Now they're just crotchety old grouchy folks who always want to have their say, but at the same time,
Hi, Dad.
yes, you recognize the contributions that they had in providing to the building and the upkeep of the order. So you know them, and they kind of walk by, and they stop for a second, and they both nod at you respectfully, and one of them looks at you and goes, "Ah, I see our young blood are keeping it lively. You're looking well, spry. I remember my youth. Youth. So fleeting."
She gives a salute and a polite nod, being respectful for all the time that they had put into fighting for the crown. And she goes, "Yes, and as you know, with the youth comes many duties one must partake in. So if you will do me the kindness and let me go report to the general."
He goes, "Yeah, you're right. You don't want to be late for meeting with the general. She's been expecting you. She was wondering when you were gonna show up." And the other person who's with them kind of like elbows them solidly in the ribs, and you hear the clanging of metal on metal as you see that one person is like, they're wearing armor, not like super heavy armor, but enough that it's like it's like formal dress, but in armor. It's like a suit, but like not a battle armor, like a. It's like the Marine blues or whites when they go to the ball. They wear like the really nice suits.
Yeah.
That military uniform, that's pretty much what they're wearing, and you just hear a clang as the one guy who's talking to you catches an elbow to the ribs from the shorter person who's with them.
Would you say it's a suit of armor?
Yes, it is a sweet suit of armor. And the person who clanged them in the ribs is more of dwarven height and stature, and goes, "Shh, she gotta find out for herself. Don't, don't spread the general's words out. It's not your business. Let him be." And they go, "Oh, I'm sorry. We need to go. Well, the general's waiting for you, and good luck." And grabs the person who was talking to you and just kind of directs them around and behind you very quickly.
Can I roll an insight check on the person that was talking to me about it and see if what I'm about to walk into is either a "yeah, you're back" or "I'm gonna hit you because you're late"?
Yeah, you can do that. I'll say you can do it with advantage because you know the general. You know the general's temperament.
Okay. I was really hoping that it wasn't this general we run into. But okay, 22 flat twice.
Yep. You know the temperament of this general, and as you look up, you see, well, in her strong female form, arms crossed, looking at you with eyes peeled. You can see the displeasure across her face, and she sticks out a hand and just like, you know, when someone, instead of pointing you, like they like roll their finger from you to themselves to say, "Come over here right now." That's the feeling that you get.
Yep. She kind of like looks back at the group, and for probably the first time out, like the only other time that you've seen this look was when she realized she had to get in a boat. A very quick flash of just genuine fear across her face, and she slowly like makes her way into the room. Is it now just the general and the party?
Yes, you basically make your way over, and it's more of like an open forum. You're not like in an office or anything. It's more of like you're, like the place that you guys walk to the end of the hall. It's more like the whole place is open concept per se, but she has a desk towards the end, and there's like shelving and all around. But she's effectively was sitting on her desk while giving these instructions, this meeting that she was having, but now she's standing up, arms crossed, and it is effectively just her and you four. As you kind of notice out the corner of your eye, any of the people who were within a solid earshot and eyeshot of the general have taken their lunch break, shall we say, and have left the floor. So
Okay.
it is just you four and her. And
Okay.
the three of you, as you kind of watch this start to unfold, you understand that this woman across the way, the general, commands an exponential amount of power and respect to the point where she doesn't have to say anything to clear a room. She gives a look and people leave. So, yes. But yeah,
Naomi will just make her way to her, head held high as she was always taught, but definitely not particularly excited about how this could end for her, but she takes it in stride. A very nervous stride, but a stride nonetheless.
as you walk up to her, she goes back to having her arms crossed, and she looks at you and says, "Where have you been?"
General, chasing the quarry, and myself and these fine people behind me ended up in the Shadowfell. Was that the name? I'm sorry, Alex, I don't remember. We ended up in the Shadowfell, where we found our way through, ended up helping some citizens, and then ended up what I could only assume is jumping from space to here, and this was one of the places that both myself and one of our compatriots recognized and made our way home, and I have come here to report.
So you failed.
Yes, I did. Ballista got our way.
You see, as you kind of like break eye contact with her for just a split second, her arms kind of lower, and her look on her face kind of softens a little bit, and her voice kind of lightens. Just, well, you know, you win some, you lose some, but you get to be the one to tell the king. And she brings you in and embraces you in a very strong hug that you feel all of your vertebrae, neck to tailbone, just crack. Just. She goes, it's been a while, little sister. Let's eat.
I
And
hug her back immediately as soon as she gives me that spine-crushing hug. I hug her back, and you just hear there's a very soft whisper of, how long was I gone?
Let's eat first. We'll discuss the details more after we eat. It is lunchtime, after all.
I've missed you.
And I you. And that, I think, is where we'll pick up
Yay!
next time.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
Family!
Mm-hmm. So, alright. Well, that is where we will end it for this evening. Reuniting of some familia. So, in this fun little town. Well, by that I mean big city. 5 million people is pretty big. Alright, well,
Yes.
we will pick up next time to see what happens now that we are in Moreau. So, till then.
Awesome. Till then, everybody say goodbye to YouTube.
Okay, bye.
Bye, YouTube.
Bye, YouTube. Happy dungeon delving, everyone.